Hey guys, it's me, Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. How are you doing today? Today we're going to talk about my favorite subject, which is sales and real estate. What is our subject for today? Our subject for today is how do you use zip codes to show homes that are for sale? How do you help customers buy homes if you don't know where they're at? Okay. See, I live in Jacksonville, Florida. We got a whole bunch of different type zip codes, and I've been in sales a long time. I've been door to door, business to business. So one of the things that I've been able to use in my selling career is zip codes and also GPS. You know, right behind me is just a nice little map of a community that they're selling homes in that are for a builder. But see, here's the thing. When you are trying to get yourself to be acclimated, it may be if you just moved to a new area and you're selling, or maybe you've never been out there in the market where you had to find places to sell. The key to success is to know your zip codes. And see, what I do is if I don't know a particular area, I Google it and I find out what that area is all about. Also, I have maps of all the different zip codes all around Jacksonville and also the Northeast Florida area. Now, I highly recommend you get yourself some maps and laminate them, put them in a plastic sleeves, and keep them available for you. See, what happens is you'll start talking to customers, and when you start talking to customers about buying homes, you kind of ask them what part of town were you thinking about living at, and they'll say, well, I'd like to live maybe on the west side or the east side or the south side or the north side. And then you ask them, okay, that sounds great. And then you start talking about the kind of house that they like and everything. And you ask them, well, what have you seen? Well, my friend, I live on the west side. My friend lives on the north side. I've seen some houses out there. Oh, really? Were they for sale? You want to get that information. You also want to ask them the address, and you want to ask them what the zip code is. Because, see, if you go out to show some houses and you only got one to show, holy cow, sometimes that may not be the house for them. But a smart salesperson, what they will do is bundle their time. And what that means is, hey, while we're out there looking at this particular house, I found 4 or 5 other properties that are very similar that may be the type of home you may be interested in. And what you just did was you provided them with a strong close. What that means, you say close, I didn't close anything. It really did. It showed how you are thinking outside the box. You're the kind of salesperson who's trying to save them time. And you're also being the kind of salesperson that's knowledgeable, because if you set up a bundled package time frame for some houses that they want maybe look at, then you've saved the customer and a lot of time and a lot of aggravation. Now, they may have 1 or 2 houses in a particular zip code, and what you need to do is you need to look at that zip code and look at the price points and the prices on the different houses by using this source called the MLS, especially if you are working in the field of selling real estate. The MLS will give you a listing of all the different houses. I mean, literally thousands of them that you can choose from. And by having a zip code, you can GPS it, or you can go online, you can look at a map, or you can MLS it and look at all the houses that are for sale in a particular area. Okay, it makes a lot of sense. And, you know, using zip codes has helped me a lot over the years because, see, I've been in sales for so long that I've been using this idea for a long time. But if you're new in sales, you may not know this stuff. You may say, well, it's a big city. Where do I go? Well, a lot of times what you do is you farm an area. You work in a particular area. You look at a zip code where people have been moving, a lot of movement. You want to look at upper end houses over 250,000 where people, it may be up and going, where people are buying and selling more often. Go out there in that zip code and work that. Hand out literature, hand out cards, your business cards, and also, you know, work that community, and eventually you'll pull some sales from there, and it could become very lucrative. Now, zip codes have been used for a long time with people who are door-to-door salespeople. People who work in communities that just don't haphazardly jump from one place all over the place. price. They work a community. They work a complete zip code. They look for those houses that are there. They look for the properties. They don't just show up. They've been doing their research, and you should be doing the same thing. So if you get a chance to talk with a customer, because you will, you're going to ask them, do you have a particular area that you're interested in? And you'll say, well, they'll say the west side. Okay, well, the west side is a really nice area. It's pretty large. Do you have a particular zip code within the website in that area? And they may go, no, I hadn't even really thought about it. Well, I have. There's like 3 different zip codes. And you can actually yourself, sir or ma'am, you can go and look at a map and you can see for yourself. Or if you're with the customer, remember, take your map with you and show them all the zip codes in a particular area and say, based on our conversation, which one of these territories would you like to look in first? And they'll be impressed because they're thinking, dang, I hadn't even thought about that. That's a pretty good idea, using zip codes to be able to zip right in and click and get the houses that you want. Because if you show somebody Jacksonville and you say, well, where do you want to live? I don't know. It's that damn big city. We get a lot of people that move down to Florida from everywhere. They don't know all the zip codes, and they just want, I want to be close to the beach. I want to be on the south side, the west side, the north side. I want to live downtown. And see, by you looking at the zip codes, you can see what's in those areas that are for sale. Now, here's another reason why you use zip codes. Let's just say, for instance, your customer wants to sell their home, and you do this thing called a CMA for them. That means you are going to look at the price points of the houses that have sold within the last 6 months, hopefully within that zip code or within an area within a zip code. So that way, within a mile, if you're lucky. If rural, it could be up to 5 miles. But if you're smart, you'll use that zip code to be able to zip right in and say, well, this is what you can probably get for your home. And I'm going to tell you what, it makes you really, really look good when you've taken the time. And then you ask them, well, where were you thinking about moving? And they'll say, well, I want to move on to the north side. I like to be closer to the airport. And then you say, that's wonderful. We've got some great houses that we've helped people buy in that particular area. But do you know the exact zip code or the area that you're interested in? Again, you're putting some information in their brain, because that's what we do. We're salespeople. We're trying to create pictures. We're trying to give an overview. Because if they say they want to live on the west side, hell, that could be anywhere. Holy cow, because the west side could be huge, or the north side, south side. It could be huge. So you kind of want to break it down for them and then figure out the best houses for them. And then when you get them on the string, yeah, like a fish, you just reel them in and say, well, I see that you've been looking at a couple of houses that are in here. Let me see it and do my research and find out if there's some comparable houses. So while we're in the area, we can just go ahead and look at them too. So you can make an informed buying decision. And I said informed buying decision. But how did you figure out all that? What you did was you did your research. You went ahead and you looked at zip codes. You looked at zip codes to see the area. I've got customers that they may not even have any houses, because right now it's a seller's market. Customers, they're selling their homes, and people are buying them like hotcakes. But the problem is it's more people wanting to buy than it is to sell. So the sellers can pretty much ask what they want for their houses, but not always. But see, here's the thing: if you have no particular homes in an area, the customer may get frustrated and think you're lying or just whatever. Everybody has these feelings. They got to sell their house, or they're moving from somewhere else. They want to get it sold as possible, but they need for you to look outside the box. What that means is look at zip codes that may be close to the area that they're wanting to move into. Close. It doesn't necessarily mean they're so far away on the west side when they're wanting to be on the north side or on the east side. What you're trying to do is let the customers know, listen, This is what's available. And give them your website. I'm lucky. My name is Gary Lee Stanley. I am your real estate sales guy. You can check out my website at yourrealestatesalesguy.com. And I work for Exit Real Estate Gallery. You can look at literally thousands of homes that are for sale, and all of them have a map so that way you can figure out where you're at. Oh crap, because sometimes you can be looking at a beautiful home and it may not be in the community or the area that you want to live. Maybe you want to live at the beach, maybe you want to live in the city, or maybe you want to live in the country. It's all about what you're into. It's not about the salesperson. So remember, use your zip codes wisely for your customers. And like I said, walk them through the process, because if you can't find a home for them, you may lose an easy sale or an opportunity to help somebody who's already been pre-qualified. And I will tell you this right now, guys, you can walk people and sell them all kinds of houses and stuff, but if they ain't been pre-qualified, I'm going to tell you this right now, you may be wasting your time. Because see, if somebody's looking at a $400,000 home and they can only be pre-qualified for a $250,000 home, you could hurt their feelings. You could make them feel embarrassed, by telling them, well, you've only been qualified for $250,000. I know you had that champagne taste, but you only got a beer pocketbook. And a lot of times people will kind of have an idea. They'll know where they stand. But if you can walk them through the process, it makes you, again, more professional. Find out about your zip codes. I'm serious, guys. This will save you a lot of times. And see, some zip codes may be too far for the customer. Send them pictures. Let them get on your website, because see, on my website, they can click on stuff and tell me they like those particular homes. I can look at the areas. I can look at the zip codes to see how far apart they are, or if they're in a good district for schools, because people, they have all kinds of reasons. Maybe they're going to college, or maybe they got little kids. Maybe they have a bunch of different reasons why they want to live in a particular area. But if you can't help them find a house right there in that area, try by using zip codes to kind of horn in on the houses that are available. Because you don't want to take somebody to a house that looks like crap and say, well, this is all we got. What do you think? It don't work like that. You've got to make the customer feel important, informed. You want to make them feel special. Even if you're a brand new salesperson, you need to act like, hey, listen, I may not know all the answers, but I have a great team that can help you, and we can walk through the process. And my simple job is to help you look at homes, help you sell your home, and I can do that for you. And if there's things that I don't know, please let me know, and I will get the answers, because I have a great team. It just works if you work it, but you got to live it. And being a real estate agent, it's not easy, guys, especially in the first year. It's mighty tough, but nobody told me and gave me these ideas. All these videos I make, I'm having to stumble and fall and learn as I go. But see, you're a salesperson, and you won't have to. You watch my videos and give me a thumbs up, and go ahead and subscribe. You can look at all my sales videos. I've got hundreds and hundreds of them on all different subjects, from all kinds of stuff like insurance. If you want to know about how to buy a home, how to get credit, how to sell stuff, I got all kinds of great videos. But this one is about real estate. And our subject for today, what was our subject for today? It was pretty cool. It's how to use zip codes to help your customers buy and to show homes that are for sale. Because I'm going to tell you what, guys, if you don't know where the houses are for sale, you could be driving all over town. And I'm going to tell you what, you can drive those poor tires off. But if you can go ahead and bundle some houses in a zip code in a particular area, they may find the house of their dreams, and you just looked like a superstar. You just helped them buy something without going crazy. Because I've seen it. I've seen where people want to drive all over town and stuff, and they're confused and they're frustrated. It just wastes a lot of time. So use your zip codes. Get your maps. Remember, guys, remember your maps. Ask them, well, what do you think about this particular area? See the zip codes? I don't know if you can see it or not. They're all zip codes. And here's the key, guys. You get to learn what the inventory is out there. By you looking through the zip codes, you're starting to see houses. You're starting to look at price range. You're starting to see what sells. You're looking at stuff that may not sell. You may be looking at stuff that's way overpriced. Maybe they did a terrible CMA, or maybe, they're going to sell that house, but boy, I guarantee you, it probably won't pass. My name is Gary Lee Stanley. I am your sales guy. Check out my website at yourrealestatesalesguide.com and look at all my houses, okay? And if you want to talk with me, call me at 904-662-8933. And I promise you, I know my zip codes. And if I don't, I'll look them up. And we'll figure out what's the best home for you and a zip code that you will be loving for sure. All right, guys, we just had a great conversation. So now you know why and how you can help your customers buy a home by using zip codes. All right. Welcome home. Use your zip codes.